It's rare for boy bands to write and produce their own songs. It's even rarer for any group to be controlling their own creative direction and process. The rarest is for girl groups to not just be writing and producing their own songs, but to be controlling their own group's creative direction. So far, there's only one girl group that's doing that, G Idol, led by Soyeon. Soyeon has written, composed, and produced their past four title tracks, created the whole concepts, and directed the whole execution down to their clothes. On the other hand, Ha Yoon Jin of Les Seraphim is not the leader of Les Seraphim, and certainly not directing the creative direction of the group. Well, at least not yet. But she has pushed to be allowed to release her own music and has officially released 3 songs and one pre-release during ReverseCon, where she was given her own solo performance in her own stage, and that is a big step. What Soyeon and Ha Yoon Jin are doing is unprecedented in more ways than one, and this could change not just their reputation but the actual environment of girl groups in K-pop. Hi! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I would really appreciate it. And of course, share the video if you can. It's really helping me. Thank you for doing it. Please continue doing it. Okay, so what exactly are Soyeon and Ha Yoon Jin doing or showing that could really change K-pop for girl groups? First, let's discuss Soyeon. Substance. Soyeon has gone on record saying her producing and writing G Idol's tracks were actually accidental. Their debut was getting delayed because the agency couldn't find the right song. Growing impatient, she decided to write a track. It was chosen as the title track, and thank God it was. One thing Soyeon manages to do is provide substance in their music. She is also something that even big companies with a huge think tank are not. She's prolific. Girl group music is littered with songs about broken hearts, one-sided love, romance, and how cool they are for having money and owning high-end branded clothes and accessories. 2,000 years, 7 continents, 7.88 billion people, and all they could sing about is actually limited to a handful of subjects. Soyeon has stretched the musical spectrum for girl groups. In Nude, for example, instead of deconstructing the image of sexy stars like Marilyn Monroe, she reinforced it by highlighting their sexuality but added a new dimension to their personality. She introduced a less popular notion that women have different facets to their personalities and one isn't necessarily inferior over the other. In other words, a woman's sexual side is no less special than her intellectual side. Prolific. Soyeon has proven her ability to create songs and concepts in different genres. She mixed traditional Korean sound with R&B for a darker but dreamy sound for Hwa. She had a more Broadway pop sound with Nude, alternative pop rock for Tomboy, and dance pop for Queen Card. And these are just their title songs. The range, of course, expands when we go into their B-sides. It's rare for groups whose creative direction is managed by their agency with a heavy think tank to come up with such a variety of concepts and sound. And Soyeon seems to be managing it just fine with her group. Control. Soyeon comes up with the concepts herself, develops it, and leads the execution. Her and her group's command isn't limited to the songwriting but to every facet of their album and promotion, down to the schedule of their promotion. I think it's also important for us to recognize that she's actually doing it well. The entire group is doing it well. Let's be honest, there's a lot of self-produced groups out there that actually leave a lot to be desired, but G Idol's sound, their music videos, their narrative, they're actually very unique, they're distinct, and they're very innovative. I think I speculate that if she will just succumb to the trend of going for girl crush or talking about nothing else but female empowerment and luxury brands while they utilize like buzzwords in their lyrics instead of actual substance, they will become more popular. But I think they don't swing that way. They would rather, I'm pretty sure that they're concerned about sales, but they will not go to the extent of compromising their creative credibility. So Yeah, I don't think there has ever been any kind of group that has commanded their own direction the way G Idol is doing it. Yuna, another legendary female idol, didn't control the creative direction of all the groups she was in. She chose to lead and control her own career instead. Huasa and Moonbyul, on the other hand, expressed their own creativity in their solo releases. Their group's direction is still co-managed by RBW. Yolin also went solo to be able to control her own creative direction. Throughout her epic stint with Sistar, Starship, their management company, drove the ship. The closest to Soyeon and G-Idol is Brown Eyed Girls, a first-gen girl group that remains semi-active to this day, but perhaps due to their era, didn't have the same range as G-Idol. Ha Yoonjin. Ha Yoonjin is doing it in a different way. Lesser FM has so far been directed by Source Music in concept, musical direction, and narrative. They're also riding on the current trend of women empowerment. This isn't giving her the same stage as Soyeon, but this is where her own drive comes in, creating a separate personality. Ha Yoonjin is pushing her own creativity by releasing her own songs, written and composed and produced by her. Her music videos are also directed by her, often featuring her own artwork or her own art concept. Her solo releases are so detached from Lesser FM in subject, tone, and sound, making it natural for the fans and the media to completely look at two personalities separately. It's nothing short of a genius on her part to have this vision to prepare her own career separate from the group and to do it early. She has more time to hone her skills in songwriting, production, and live performances, which is very, very important. Her own stage in WeverseCon is a huge step, giving her the feel of how small a performer could actually feel being alone on stage versus the possible thousands of people in the crowd. It's not easy. Not only will you have to dictate the energy and command your own presence, you also need to think about the vocal techniques, how to move your body on stage so that the stage actually doesn't eat you, and the range that you need to expend when performing alone. Growth. She is growing fast and in the right direction. While Raise Your Glass, her first single, was beautiful in that raw and unfiltered way, Love You Twice was much more refined in sound. She stretched her ability to mix different genres, often in the same verse. She would shift from rap to R&B to ballad to dance pop, all in a matter of 4 lines and sometimes in the same line. Lyrically, she also experimented by taking the role of a storyteller rather than just telling the story from a first-person point of view. If she manages to improve this, it would allow her to expand her messages and the narratives without losing her authenticity. She will be able to tell stories of other people and their experiences from her own perspective. Her yet-to-be-released single, Blessing in Disguise, sounds so drastically different from the 3 songs. It displays her push to maturity. The chorus and the bridge have a real hook. She's learning how to put highlights in the song, that one verse that the general public will hold on to. And it could be her ticket to global success. First steps toward control. Big Hit, as we all know, is the reason why HYBE exists, actually highly influences the culture of HYBE. And they are known for giving their artists full control over their own releases. This, for sure, is where she's headed. There have been other female idols who have composed, written, and produced their own songs. IU leads the pack, but Yoonjin's background, growing up in the US, speaking the language, and having more Western influences, plus the growth and style she's developing, combined with HYBE's Western reach, give her a good chance of actually establishing a solid Western career. And if Source Music manages to shape Lesser FM's sound and narrative to something more unique from the rest of K-pop and allow Yoonjin and the rest of the members more direct control over their own narrative and sound, they could establish a powerful Western presence. This is not to say there has never been a female K-pop idol that created their own music, but not to the extent of controlling their own creative style and direction. And certainly not in the quality that Soyeon is doing and where Yoonjin is most likely headed. The thing is that I'm not even a fan of Soyeon, and I'm only a casual fan of Ha Yoonjin. Soyeon's music is not for me. It's not the kind of music that I would put in my playlist so that I can listen to it every day. But I'm not saying that it's not good. I think this is a perfect example of not liking somebody and still recognizing and admiring the skill and respecting that. I certainly recognize and respect their talents and their skills. I respect Soyeon's creative genius. I respect her command over her own group and their creative direction. I certainly admire Yoonjin's growth and her potential. If the two succeed, I think they could truly affect and influence how young people, especially the young K-pop fans, how they look at female idols. And because let's admit it, for the most part, it's still about who has the best music video, the most visually appealing music video, who has the best swag, who has the best brand deals. If Soyeon and Yoonjin go farther and they're able to prove their skills, that their skills and talents are also marketable, I think they can highlight the importance of actual skill and the importance of actually gaining control over your own career and over your own creatives. They will be able to emphasize something that we should all know by now, that the women are not just for twerks or booty pops or grinds or brand deals. We've got substance and we've got depth that are painful, scarred, and beautiful in ways that only a woman is capable of forming and highlighting and presenting. So those are the two that I think have it in them. They have the raw skill and they are headed towards direction. I would love to know yours or your favorites, or at the very least who you think are really have the talent and have and are actually also marketable in order to take the K-pop industry for girl groups to another level. Let me know in the comment section below. You can also get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. Either way, you can say anything that you want to say, but please be respectful. That's my only request. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I would really appreciate it. And share the video if you can. Thank you.